Okay, we're here with Rob Tate, head coach at Queens. Coach, how's your season going this year at Queens so far?
Hey, not what we want in terms of, we're trying to be national champs eventually, but a lot of improvement from last year, and we're really excited for regionals coming up next, and we're just here at the North Carolina State Tournament recruiting, seeing who we can get in to make champions next,
Who kind of sets the tone for practice in your room? Who are the leaders in the practice room on your team?
We got a good group, a mix. I mean, it really all depends on the day. Melvin Rubio, I'd say, is the most consistent we got in terms of our lightweights, but we got some younger guys in terms of Hunter Tobiasen and Joey Hancock and JT Skalecki, who are freshmen for us that really are starting to turn it on too, and they're learning too. We got some guys there in the middle with our sophomore class that are banged up, but everybody, it's just we're on everybody about getting their approach down how it should be and just bringing it every single day like you should be, because it just takes a concentrated effort every single day, And if we don't, some guy might be off one day, that's why the other guy's got to be on for that. So we preach it to everybody.
You were kind of thrown to the fire at Queens when the former coach had to leave. How did you adjust or make that jump from assistant to head coach so quickly?
Really just being in it, man. I mean, just worrying about how to get my kids prepared day by day. It's not necessarily the role. It's what can I do to get that program better, and what can I do to get them better. It was the same mentality that I had as an assistant. They just switched me in the role, switched me in the jobs. Feel very blessed to be where I was at. A little bit of luck played into it, but really it's all the same. Try to get kids to their goals. So.
When you're talking to a kid and you're trying to sell them on Queens, what do you tell a possible student athlete why they should come to Queens?
I mean, if you really you can do both. I don't know how to say it. Division I's great. I did it. I've been there. We got guys on our coaching staff. Division I's great, but if that's not just your 100% be all, sometimes it might not work out. Luckily for us here at Division II, it's just as competitive as Division I at a lot of spots, but we give you a lot more options with your free time. We give you a lot more options with your school. Queens has a great curriculum and a great yes and promise that we've set up, that we're trying to be high level athletes, but we're also trying to set you up with an education that'll give you a lot of contacts somewhere. That's the one thing about Queens that sells me the best. Its education, especially around the Charlotte area, the connections are there that aren't there for some other universities.
If you could change one rule at the college level, or just in general, what rule would you change in wrestling?
It's a little. You put me on the spot there, really, about that one. Not really necessarily change. I mean, you can't. It all depends on the referee, but I like to see more consistency. With me being allowed to come over, I'm not necessarily questioning a call, but I like to go over and ask for a clarification of a call. I'm not trying to argue it, but if you have to explain to me and can't explain to me how you made the call, I'm not gonna be worried about it. But for me to come over there and ask how something's called and still to get a bench warning for judgment misconduct doesn't necessarily sit with me. I'm not necessarily questioning your judgment, but I feel like we deserve an explanation of why the call was the way it was.
I'll end the interview with. If you could give a piece of advice to a coach, what advice would you give to a coach?
It all depends on what their goals are, really, to say the truth. I give my own advice. Have some patience. Be all right with working with kids. They're not supposed to have it. That's the reason why we have jobs, for what it is. Keep working with them and always be positive.
Coach, anything else you want to say about Queens or anything before we wrap it up?
I say strike while the iron's hot. Get in touch with us while we still got a competitive room.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your time with Carolina Mountain News, Coach.
Thanks.